What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush. Let's talk Jets. Hope everybody's having an excellent weekend. Beautiful weather in New Jersey, so you got to enjoy that. The Jets beat the Giants. You got to enjoy that. You got out of the preseason relatively healthy. Even better news. So, quick recap of last night's game. Man, it is so cool watching Aaron Rodgers be the quarterback of the Jets. I actually had a fantasy football draft the same time the game was going on. So you're watching like the warm-ups and stuff like that, and you see Aaron Rodgers in a Jets uniform spinning the football around, and you're like, holy shit, man, this is really real. Like, we've seen Hard Knocks and training camp and everything else, but to see him actually on the field throwing the football for the Jets is surreal, and I cannot wait for Monday Night Football. So, the first string Jets offense went against second string Giants defense, but the most important thing was just seeing the offense get in flow, and Rodgers has instant chemistry with Garrett Wilson. His touchdown pass was ridiculous, man. I mean, like, the level of trust he has in Wilson to throw that ball up in that small window to complete it was insane. So that was a positive. Looking at the wide receiver group as a whole, there's a lot of competition, man. And you look at, usually special teams is kind of like how it separates like the fifth and sixth wide receivers. We look at Gibson, who is a really good returner, who Aaron Rodgers actually mentioned in his press conference that had some nice catches. You had Jason Brownlee, who a couple of nice grabs. And he also was, if you notice, on punt return coverage, he was involved there. You have Charles played really well. So they had some really interesting things there. And what's the other kid's name? I think it was Erickson, had 2 touchdowns. So he's a practice squad candidate. So the wide receiver battle is going to be really, really interesting. Randall Cobb had that terrible penalty, but that's like, whatever. So overall, you look at the wide receiver group, you're really encouraged. I still wonder if the Jets are going to look to a veteran free agent once all these cuts come out, but the young guys really stepped up. And once Aaron Rodgers mentions you in a press conference, you get a feeling you're probably making the team. Offensive line, Beckham played at right tackle. He played well. Sal's proud of him. Rodgers is proud of him. He's getting a lot of confidence. He has a couple more weeks to get acclimated and feel stronger and more confident going against the Bills. Billy Turner played left tackle, which I just don't think he's very good. But he's going to be on the team. He's going to be your swing guy back and forth. But the offensive line did their job. They really couldn't run the ball that much. They featured Michael Carter a little bit. Zonovan Knight ended the game, but I just don't think. I think Zonovan Knight's going to end up being the odd man out. The tight end position, Jeremy Ruckert showed a couple good things. He looks physical, man. Like when he catches the ball, when he runs forward, he's looking for contact, man. And I think that's super awesome. Really excited there. You didn't see anything out of it. Compton had a nice catch, I think, too. Hardman had a bad drop downfield where you could see his speed and explosiveness, but a drop where it was a dime, an absolute dime by Zach. Trying to think what else. I mean, I think it was all positive on offense. You didn't see all the gaudy yards. Tim Boyle came in, had a couple touchdowns, but I think it was just a solid performance where you looked like, all right, you feel confident going forward where it's not going to be perfect, but they weren't scheming, they weren't game planning, and no Dwayne Brown, right? So defensively, it gets really interesting, man, because this defense came out and set the tone right off the bat. And the one thing is it was a Giants broadcast, but those guys, man, I know they're great, they're respected, and everybody loves them. They gave no information on the Jets. They're getting names wrong left and right. When Saleh had the call reversed, they were kind of discounting Saleh. Like, why is he challenging that? He's giving his defense a blow. No, he actually got the call right. So the broadcast wasn't all that great, but defensively, the Jets came out and set the tone right off the bat. Jermaine Johnson was a man on a mission. He had a sack. He had the personal foul out of bounds, which I thought was kind of questionable, but that Minnie had the foul. Saleh took him out. He came back in, still disruptive. Bryce Huff is still Bryce Huff. Looked great. Quinton Williams. Solomon Thomas is a guy that keeps sticking out. And whenever we have like the surprise cut conversation, everybody always goes quick to name Solomon Thomas. I don't think so, man. I mean, he had a tackle for a loss last night that was ridiculous. I have a soft spot for Tanzel Smart. He is relentless, big-time motor, always moving the pile. He's going to be one of those fringe guys, whether you keep like 9 or 10 or 11 defensive linemen, however you do want to do it. The interesting player to me is Jalen Holmes, who looks so damn explosive off the edge, man. I think he had a sack last night. I think he had a sack last week, too. I'm not a stat guy, but Jalen Holmes looks incredible, man. The Jets have so much talent on the defensive front that, guys that get cut are going to get picked up somewhere else. You go to, I have notes here. I actually watched the game at like 5 o'clock this morning again to make sure I didn't miss anything. The linebackers, Chaz Surratt was back. I know Saleh likes him. Sherwood is an interesting player. Like I can't wait to see Joe Blewett do his breakdowns because Sherwood always looks like a step slow diagnosing plays. I don't know why I think that. I could be just overanalyzing it. It just seems like he's always a step late, but maybe he's still transitioning and learning it. He didn't play a lot last year, so maybe he's kind of finding his way in this defense. The safety position was really encouraging for me, where the Giants tested Sauce Gardner twice early on, and Jordan Whitehead was he looked like he had really good range on both those throws. Like, he was over there in the right place at the right time, so that was really good. Ashton Davis continues to make a case for himself. Special teams guy, played well last night. In terms of the corners, Brendan Eccles with a pick six, and unfortunately he has that 1-game suspension, but he had the pick six. I think he also had like a big rush off the edge, so either a sack or like a pressure. So Eccles is solidifying his spot. Bryce Hall, I thought, was terrible. I think Bryce Hall's days are numbered here. I was always wondering if they'd move him to safety or try something else, but as a corner, it's definitely not working for him. I'm trying to think what else, if I forgot anybody. I don't think I did. So overall, I mean, special teams, Zerline did his thing. Morstead, good punter. I mean, overall, as a Jet fan, you walk away from, like, they got the win. They look good. Nothing outlandish. You know, Rodgers had that great throw. But it's like, you're healthy. Your team is intact. And you figure you're going to get back Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall in this week, coming back into practice. And it's full speed ahead, right? That's it. The cuts are going to be interesting on Tuesday at 4 o'clock. I'll do a video doing my 53-man roster prediction to kind of figure out what I think, and you guys can criticize me and make fun of me. I think Primetime and I have a bet, like whoever wins, the other guys got to do a shotgun, and that's it. So let me know what you guys think. We're here. We made it through the preseason. Week 1 is just around the corner. I'll talk to you later.